Welcome to a new week here on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Micciche, co-owner of True North Retirement Advisors, a fee-only fiduciary financial advisory practice, say that 5 times fast, managing over $400 million in assets. If you are a few years on either side of retirement and looking for some daily quick tips to help you on your retirement journey, you are in the right place, and I thank you for tuning in and being here with me this week. Okay, so the theme this week is navigating the storm, strategies for weathering a stock market downturn. This is from the AP on August 5th, which was a pretty scary day for markets. It says Wall Street fell the most in nearly 2 years, continuing a global rout in financial markets as fear worsens that the U.S. economy is slowing down. The S&P 500 fell 3% Monday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped more than 1,000 points, and the NASDAQ Composite slid 3.4%. That followed a 12.4% plunge for Japan's Nikkei 225, its worst day since 1987. Worries over the economy are front and center after a series of disappointing reports, including a weaker than expected jobs report on Friday. Big tech stocks, which have led the market to record after record this year, bore the brunt of the selling. Okay, so as I record this podcast, markets have posted a big recovery and actually today are at new all-time highs as recession fears once again fade. So it's this pendulum swinging back and forth. So it's not like these disappointing job results just all of a sudden disappeared and are rosy again. But a lot of what's driving the market to new all-time highs is inflation data that comes out this week that is hopefully looking like the Fed is probably going to start lowering rates at its next meeting in September. So what is an investor to do? Especially, we've had a scary few days as the bottom seemingly fell out of the market. I was bracing for the panicked phone calls. In my head, I was writing a letter to clients that I was going to email out if the market continued to slide and get worse. So I've been thinking about this a lot over the last few days. And so this week on the podcast, I think it's an incredible opportunity of what has happened because it should be a wake-up call for investors. Now, I'll talk about what to do about that, but a lot of people have too much in stocks. They're just irrationally exuberant. We've been greedy, and by we, I mean not me. We've been greedy as investors as a whole and just expecting that the market is going to keep going higher and higher and higher. But as we saw earlier this month, that is not the case. And it's an important time too, because we had this big drop, but then we had a big recovery. Now is the time to be taking a good hard look at your portfolio. Are you in a position to weather the next downturn, whether that's right around the corner or a long ways off? It doesn't really matter because what we need to do is take advantage of the fact that the market is still at a high point. It is still at a high watermark. That's when we want to be evaluating these things, not after a 10, 15, 20% decline in the stock market. Okay, so that's what I'll be focusing on this week. Strategies for weathering a stock market downturn. And more importantly, what to do to prepare yourself for that and try to batten down the hatches and make sure that you're insulated from those big downturns as well, particularly if you are very close to retirement. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you know someone who would benefit from listening to this week's theme, someone who has, maybe too much in stocks or they talk about how much money they're making, but they're really close to retirement, these are the people that really need to take a good hard look at their portfolio the most and need to prepare themselves for the eventual, it's an inevitable thing, the next downturn. So anyways, if you know someone like that, please share the show. It takes just a few seconds. Hit that share icon wherever you're listening to me right now and text or email the show link to someone you know. All right, coming back tomorrow, I'm going to talk about why the recent market volatility should be a wake-up call for you and what you might want to do about that. My name is Ashley Micciche, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.